So what we're going to do is we're going to plot points on the polar plane. So my first one is 3 pi over 6. So this is what we call a polar plane. If you notice, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and pi, which means that each of these is pi over 12. So and these are my radii. So I need to go to pi over 6, which is here, and I have to go out 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's my point, 3 pi over 6. The next one I want 4 pi over 3. Well, so pi over 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, right? So this will be pi over 3. This will be 2 pi over 3, 3 pi over 3 or pi, and then I have 4 pi over 3. So I'm going to go to 4 pi over 3, and I'm going to count out 1, 2. So that's 2, 4 pi over 3. The last one I want at pi over 4. So I have, here's pi over 4 because it's 3 pi over 12, which does equal pi over 4. So here it is, but it's in this direction, right? But I want a negative number. So what I can do is I can go along here and I can see where it goes in the other plane, which is here. The straight line goes through. All right. And now I'm going to count out some, because this is positive, so negative would be 1.5. So that would be negative 1.5 pi over 4. So I could call this also positive 1.5, 5 pi over 4. And I could call this one negative 3, 7 pi over 6 if I wanted. So whatever direction of the angle, that's my positive radius. And if I have a negative radius, it's going with the direction of the angle, but opposite from the pole, so in this direction, and I will get a negative. To summarize, a point with polar coordinates r, theta, and radians can be represented by any of the following. R theta plus 2 pi k, or negative r theta plus pi plus 2 pi k, where k is some integer. So remember, I could call this 3 pi over 6, but if I go around like this, it's really also 13 pi over 6. So I could have called this 13 pi over 6, right? And here, if I'm having negative 1.5 pi over 4, the negative r, right, here, so, or I should look at here, if I call this negative 3, 7 pi over 6, then I would add, that'd be here, I'd add pi, and I'd be adding pi and then 2 pi k to get where I wanted. And just so we know that if we have a radius of 0, tells me it could use, it works for any angle, because when the radius is 0, you're just going to be at the pole.